We've said from the beginning that our role here in the minority is to be the loyal opposition, in the sense that your job is to debate and discuss, not just roll over if it's principles and types of ideas that should be debated, and to provide alternatives. And there's no doubt that we have struggled mightily to try and get all our alternatives out. And on the stimulus, for example, a year and 3 months ago, 2 months ago, we had our own bill, a stimulus bill that focused on small businesses and basically tax abatement, that they would keep their money and focus more on making sure that small businesses keep more of their money so they can survive the downturn. Held a big press conference about it, rolled it out, no one carried it, except Fox News. And that was it. And no one heard that there was an alternative. Well, no, but that's, in today's world, with media kind of picking their themes, you know, that's why you got to read the Washington Post and the Washington Times. That's why you need to watch Fox and CNN and balance and kind of figure it out. And frankly, today, I got to admit to you, I read much more than I watch any TV news. Because I get frustrated in the world of the 7-second soundbite, you know, and you know, get back to the stimulus. You watch the regular newscasts, and they come in and say, and President Obama's or the stimulus package is blah 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 blah, and Rahm Emanuel says that the Republicans are the party of no. Now on to the storms in the southeast. I mean, you know, you can't really understand all of the issues in 45 seconds or the 30 seconds that they give you. So there's a couple of websites that I'm on every day. One is realclearpolitics.com. And what they do is, it's a conservative blog site, but what they do is put up all of the major articles from the papers. So if there's an issue on the financial reform bill that's up there in the New York Times or the LA Times, it'll be posted there. And I can then go to kind of one-stop shopping and get all the major articles and kind of pick up on what's going on. And so it's a real concise website, and they do all they'll publish polling and daily tracking. So when Gallup releases numbers, or Rasmussen, or Daily Costs, or whoever, they post that as well. So you can not only keep up with the major news stories, but the political polling, and then the major blog sites they'll post too.
I'm always looking for something.
Yeah, Real Clear Politics, I think it's conservative, but they really are the kind of the go-to. Even a lot of the media uses Real Clear Politics now to kind of go to the one-stop shop. And you know, and I like it a little bit better than Drudge. I go on Drudge too, but you know, this is more all news on Real Clear Politics instead of some of the socialite type stuff that Drudge can get into. So that's you just can't rely on video. No. So getting back. Boy, I got way off track there for a little bit, Jeff, but we want to be the party of real alternatives, solid alternatives. I think one of our mistakes as leadership in Congress is that we really didn't coalesce behind principles even on the healthcare debate until late. Early on, I had my own bill. 15 other people had their own bill. I still think mine was the right way, but Leader Boehner didn't think so. But the early philosophy was, hey, we've got so many people in our conference with great ideas that I'm not going to sit here and pick one or the other as the official Republican bill. So therefore, you know, you all need to get out and talk about the alternatives. But by doing that, we had 20 different messages and they all got diluted, and so therefore the party of no, when there wasn't an official, can kind of stick. What are you laughing at?
Did you hear when he walked away? He said, I think it can still blow a .12. Stop.
You never know.
Random comment, sorry.
No.
So,
yeah, I do, but no,
we do have alternative ideas. We just haven't done a great job or been successful, let's say, in getting this.
Are Republicans being substantively allowed into the meetings and they draft?
No, I'm not going to be blunt about that. Yeah, and that's why when the president invited the Republican leadership into the health care, the Blair House, what he called it, I forget, forum.
The televised one?
The televised one. I mean, we jumped at that. There were some in our caucus that said, no, we should stand on principle and not do that. But this was going to be our first real opportunity to come out and say, hey, look, there's a different way here. And I thought that was the right decision. And what happened by that is that was the first time a lot of people saw that Republicans, or that there was actually alternatives out there that made sense. And so that was actually a good decision. There's still people in our conference that say it wasn't, but I'm in the camp that says it ended up being very successful in that sense that, you know, there was a little bit of give and take there, so it showed that, okay, we are concerned about people that don't have health care, and there are alternatives to help them out. It's not just no. And so,
because I thought he was trying to get a point that he got shot up. You know, he didn't like to say Paul Ryan, but I don't know Ryan.
Yeah, Paul Ryan. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm starting to see Paul Ryan for president. He's not doing it, but he is. We're classmates. We came in the '98 elections, and he just turned 40. He's that young. So he's. But it was interesting with Paul Ryan. When you're running for your first race and you look like you're going to win, a lot of groups, and this was, I think, a National Business Chamber event in Chicago, and it was with all the big dogs. It was Caterpillar and GM, and you go in and kind of introduce yourself, and so you get like 5 minutes to, you know, kind of give your pitch of what you're about and why you're running, and then questions and answers. And then the panel I was on, Paul Ryan, and that was the first time I ever met him, and he was really impressive. Yeah, if you're no, I won't say he's presidential material, but probably in the House he's not flamboyant, but he'd be the most capable in that position. And, I think it's important that getting back to your message, as conservatives or Republicans, we need to let people know that there are alternatives out there. So that's why elections are good too, is that you get a platform for that.
How's everybody doing over here?
Oh, I'll have a little coffee if you've got
Okay, I'll be
some.
right back.
What's going on?